Hello, Patriots. Thank you for tuning into this week's broadcast of Mason Cable News. My name is Ky'Lend Adams.
And I'm Alexis Whitted.
We would first like to make it clear that the opinions expressed in this broadcast of Mason Cable News does not necessarily reflect the views of Mason Cable Network. It's currently voting week at Mason, so students, be sure to vote on getconnected.gmu.edu. Now, Alexis, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good. I have like a gazillion things due tomorrow, so I just need to get through that. I need to turn everything in, and then after tomorrow, it's just going to be the weekend. It's going to be great. How about you, Ky'Lend?
Pretty much the same. You know, I found out today I have 45 days left until I graduate.
Oh my God!
So I'm just swimming there. You know, I have a lot of assignments, but I'm like little Nemo. I'm just swimming.
We'd like to take a moment of silence at the beginning of the broadcast to mourn the deaths of 11 people killed in a bombing at the St. Petersburg train station Monday afternoon. The homemade explosion device killed 11 people and wounded more than 45 when it exploded on the train. The photograph was received from The Independent. World leaders have sent their condolences to Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Trump spoke to Putin and offered full support in bringing those responsible to justice. German Chancellor Angela Merkel called the explosion a barbaric act. St. Petersburg is the second largest city in Russia behind Moscow. President Putin was in the city when the bomb exploded. As the New York Times writes, most terrorist attacks against domestic Russia have been the work of Islamic insurgents, correlating either to bloody state crackdowns in the northern Caucasus or Russian bombings against the Islamic State in Syria. Authorities in St. Petersburg have declared 3 days of mourning.
North Carolina defeated Gonzaga University Monday evening to earn the 2017 NCAA title. Last year, Villanova University beat the University of North Carolina in a buzzer-beating three-pointer to avoid overtime and a win of 77-74. While an upsetting loss, the Tar Heels restrained the team for the season and earned their sixth national championship, beating Gonzaga 71-65. The Tar Heels redeemed themselves from the heartbreaking loss 364 days prior. North Carolina students checked out blue, chanted, "The ceiling in the roof," quoted a month before against a match against Duke to describe the promise of UNC's football team as reported by Sports Illustrated. The photo of the team cheering and holding the trophy was taken by AP David Phillip.
George Mason University and Northern Virginia Community College will soon expand their partnership and credit transfer system in the upcoming years, as cited by Danielle Douglas Gabriel from the Washington Post. Mason and Nova began a partnership after learning students lose credit when transferring institutions dating back to differences within curriculum and standards. The two schools began with a compact in mechanical engineering, where the schools aligned and teamed up to guide students. Yesterday, the schools announced that they will be expanding the compact model to more majors next fall. The program, titled Advance, a Nova-Mason partnership, there are plans for a single point of entry for admissions, financial aid, and advising. GMU President Angel Cabrera said the way we have the biggest impact is how we work together to address more opportunities for our students and more opportunities for our region. Students also expressed difficulty in the environment when transferring schools and getting situated to the different workload. George Mason is the largest public university in Virginia, holding 35,000 students. Nova holds 70,000 students, and it's cited as the largest two-year college in the United States. The program will assist in creating career-ready professionals for the workforce, along with assisting in the transfer process. Nova students will also have access to campus organizations, clubs, and Mason facilities, such as the library. Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe and other business leaders were in attendance for the announcement yesterday. The program will begin its first class in fall of 2018. We'll keep you updated on Advance as it develops. For the meantime, we have this week's segment about Student Government Elections 2017, sending it off to Cody Borden for Freshman's Corner.
Welcome to this week's segment of Freshman's Corner. If you walked anywhere on campus this past week, you might notice that there's chalk on the sidewalks everywhere. That's because this week is student elections. So this week on Freshman's Corner, we decided to talk to freshmen about student elections.
The hosts and producers for this segment actively campaigned for the Canis Dugan ticket last week. However, the views and opinions of the students interviewed for this segment were not influenced in any way, shape, or form. All students were pooled randomly and all responses were genuine. Any opinion stated in this video does not reflect that of Mason Cable Network.
What's the first word you think of when you hear the phrase student government?
Inefficient because I haven't seen where they actually make any changes, and I haven't heard where they actually do anything past the elections.
Representative. Unfortunately, I feel like right now the student government is not representing the student body well, but I feel like that's what the student government's first responsibility is to be representative of the student body.
I think it's friendly, but also a little bit of diverse. But we can, that's the thing that we really need to improve on is the diversity. So I think it's more friendly.
Who do you plan on voting for president? David Kanos and Kelly Dugan, or Hannah Kars and Greg Warren?
David and Kelly.
I'm not really sure who I'm going to vote for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, definitely I'm going for Kelly and David because one of the focuses is people with disabilities. And to me, that's a personal connection.
I think that David would be a wonderful president. He'd be the first international student to be student body president. I feel like that's a very big deal on campus here. And you know, Kelly, she's wonderful as well. I think they do a really great job representing our students. Okay, what is the issue on campus that you feel really isn't getting that much attention?
Like, even though the arts department is like really strong, like they're all like really good, there's not enough like focus on like the performances and like things that we do.
We get more support.
There's a change of a college in the working in the campus.
It's hard to travel around campus if you're handicapped or disabled.
So if you were running, what would your campaign slogan be? Actually, I am running, and our slogan is Transfer Mason. I'm running with about 20, I'm running with a lot of my friends for Senate, and we're also supporting Kelly and David as a whole, actually, under Transfer Masons.
Kick it with Kelsey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, sorry guys, I was just voting on getconnected.gmu.edu. I'm your host, Cody Borden. Make sure to tune in next week for the next segment of Freshman's Corner.
Dear World will be visiting Mason's Fairfax campus today and tomorrow. Dear World is a portrait project focused on uniting campus communities worldwide through visual storytelling as detailed by Alexa Rogers. Using personal stories, the event hopes to join members of the Mason community and start meaningful conversations. The event has 3 acts which will occur over 2 days on the Fairfax campus. Today's act was a VIP photo shoot in telling stories of specific students, faculty, staff, and alumni, and sharing awareness about the larger event tomorrow. From 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, students will gather at the JC Atrium and tell their stories by writing words on their skin and have their pictures taken at an open photo shoot. Then up to 5 students will be chosen for the 3rd act, who will share their stories and have a photo reveal at 6:30 in the atrium. Though all the events are free, students are asked to register for the photo shoot in advance.
Tomorrow, Senator Bernie Sanders will be hosting an event at George Mason University's Hub Ballroom. Yesterday morning, Senator Sanders endorsed Tom Perello in the Virginia Democratic gubernatorial race against Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam. Both candidates are currently tied within the polls, with the primary occurring in June. Sanders said in his endorsement that, quote, "We need to elect progressives to every level of government if we are going to beat back the dangerous agenda of the Trump administration and its allies." Perello said in a statement, "We need to unite the Democratic Party behind an agenda of inclusive economic growth that leaves no community, race, or region behind." The event will feature both Sanders and Perello tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. with the doors opening at 6:30.
The annual iWeek parade will be tomorrow from noon to 1 p.m. in the JC North Plaza. International Week is nearing its end from start on Friday, and the parade becomes a unifier of cultures within the community. All members of the Mesa community are welcome to participate in the event. Please bring a flag, cultural artifact, or wear attire representing your nationality, ethnicity, heritage, student organization, sorority or fraternity, residence hall, other affiliation. Participants in the parade will meet in Sub 1 Patriots Lounge at 11:15 a.m. The parade route loops around the Rappahannock neighborhood along with Merton Hall. The first 150 participants will receive the iWeek 2017 t-shirt. To sign up, go to iweek.gmu.edu/open/parade/registration.
Last night, the CFA held the annual iWeek dance competition. Here's Angelique Arintok with the story.
And the Center for the Arts at George Mason International Week 2017 was graced with the annual International Dance Competition. The event was live streamed by Mason Cable Network, but in case you missed it, this year's event was met with an incredibly lively crowd, demonstrating the rich diversity and culture at George Mason University. Various cultural student organizations came together to put on this remarkable show. Performances came from the Pakistani Student Association, Azukar Salsa Club, Nepalese Student Association, Irish Dance Club, Hellenic Society, Filipino Cultural Association, Indian Student Association, Afghan Student Union, GMU Bhangra, Ballroom Dance Club, and Mason Kerang. The event ended with the Nepalese Student Association taking the reins as the International Dance Competition Champions for 2017. This annual event is surely not something you want to miss next year. This has been Angelique Arintok with Mason Cable News.
Welcome back. Journal Jam is only one day away. The event is hosted by the Office of Student Media at the JC Bistro from 7 to 9 p.m. Join Student Media as we celebrate the work of the 5 outstanding student-run literary journals showcasing the best in creativity and scholarship Mason has to offer, as stated from the Student Media website. In addition to live music and free refreshments, you will be able to hear from writers, researchers, poets, and artists whose work has been selected for publication, along with networking with other students and faculty. For more information, visit studentmedia.gmu.edu.
Join Cure Alliance for Mental Illness at their showing of A Beautiful Mind, starring Russell Crowe. This movie tells the story of John Nash, a well-known mathematician whose theories are used in economics, game theory, and geometry. The movie also depicts John Nash's struggles with paranoid schizophrenia. Free pizza will be provided. The event is from 5:45 to 9:15 on Friday, April 7th. It will be in the JC Movie Theater. Students, are you ready for registration? Fall semester registration will begin next Tuesday, April 11th. Students can check when they will be able to register on Patriot Web under Student Services, Registration, and Registration Status. Graduate students will be able to register on April 11th. Seniors can register on the 13th, juniors on the 17th, sophomores on the 19th, and freshmen on the 21st. Registration is dependent on credit hours earned to date.
Pride Week will begin this Friday, April 7th through the 14th with more than 20 events planned throughout the week. There will be a Sing with Pride event from 9 p.m. to midnight at the Ridge where you can join other RAs and students for karaoke and food. There will be a Pride Week talent show this Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. in the JC Bistro. Academy Award-winning film Moonlight will be screening at the JC Cinema from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. along with a discussion afterwards. This week will end with the annual Pride Week drag show from 8 to 11 p.m. on Thursday at the JC Atrium, hosted by PAC and student involvement. Students can learn about the multitude of events occurring Pride Week at www.lgbtq.gmu.edu.
Stay tuned for the sports report after a quick commercial break. Also, stick around for On the Couch in our roundtable on Sodexo Dining. You're watching Mason Cable News.
Hello, Patriots. I'm Lexi Hodgson with your sports update for the week. This weekend, the men's volley team remained on track to their postseason run by winning 2 EIVA matches, both against Sacred Heart. The men had to go 5 sets on Saturday to earn a hard-fought victory. Mason will look to continue their momentum on Friday, hosting NJIT at 7 p.m., and on Saturday hosting Princeton and celebrating senior night. Also, congratulations to senior Johnny Gomez for earning EIVA Defensive Player of the Week. Before play was suspended due to weather, the men's golf team sat at the top of the leaderboard after the first day of the Wofford Invitational. The Patriots are at a 7 under, just 1 stroke ahead of Appalachian State. Due to the weather interference, the 54-hole tournament has now shortened to 36. The women's lacrosse team earned their 2nd straight victory, beating St. Bonaventura 21-9. Seniors Melissa Labarco and Jordan Sedanowicz each earned a career-high 5 goals. The Patriots used 3 goalkeepers, sophomore Elizabeth Bendetto getting the start, making 4 saves in 39-plus minutes. Junior Mackenzie Duffy played 10 minutes while making 1 save, and freshman Melissa Semku was in the net for the final 10 minutes. Mason will head to Pittsburgh to take on Duquesne at 4 p.m. on Friday, April 7th. Congratulations to freshman pitcher Becca Ansbro for earning A10 Rookie of the Week honors representing the Mason softball team. Ansbro pitched 2 innings in Sunday's game and was the only Mason pitcher to not give up a run in the game. Yeah. The first ever Mason Giving Day is scheduled for Thursday, April 6th, with the goal of bringing Mason Nation together to pledge support for the university. Within athletics, individuals interested in donating can target their gifts to a specific initiative, and any size contribution can make a difference. Athletic gifts can be earned for individual Mason teams, spirit programs, the Student Athlete Scholarship Fund, the new basketball practice facility, and more. Any questions about Giving Day can be directed to the Patriot Club office at masonpc.gmu.edu. That's it for sports. Good luck to any teams playing this week and weekend.
Hello, Mason Nation. Well, welcome back to another amazing week with me, Geena Jerome, on the couch. I apologize for my brief absence, but I am back and I'm very excited to be your source for entertainment news nationally, as well as in the DMV and GMU area. So now to move on to our very first story. After having his love for Nikki Bella publicly questioned by The Miz before their match at WrestleMania 33, John Cena proposed to his longtime girlfriend on pro wrestling's biggest stage Sunday, April 2nd, and guess what? She said yes. The official moment finally came after the couple defeated Michael The Miz Mezzanine and his wife Marie Soule in a tag team match. John Cena got down on one knee in the ring and asked Nikki Bella to marry him with a ring. Cena's failure to propose earlier was a part of the rivalry that led him and Nikki to cross paths with The Miz and Maurice at WrestleMania. During the build-up to the show, The Miz and Maurice ridiculed the couple and said Cena loved himself rather than Nikki. Well, after winning the Sunday match, Cena launched into an emotional speech, which led to the proposal. Not only will John Cena's proposal be a patented WrestleMania moment, but it could be a fitting send-off for Nikki, much like when her sister Brie was carried around the ring at WrestleMania 32 before leaving the company. Also in Hollywoodland, here's some pretty surprising and interesting news for you. You know, I promised you an update, so here it is. Tomi Lahren's week-long suspension from The Blaze might be permanent after all. The 24-year-old pundit is currently negotiating an exit package, and people say she's too crazy for us. A source from The Blaze told the gossip website TMZ that Lahren, who made a name for herself after getting into a heated argument with Daily Show host Trevor Noah, found critics and conservative critics after outing herself as pro-choice on The View earlier in March, where she blatantly stated, "Stay away from my guns and you can stay away from my body as well." Tomi was suspended from her show soon after, but The Blaze never put out an official explanation. But according to TMZ, she still has 6 months left on her contract. Both sides are working to a plan to allow her to start a new gig sooner. And now, in Mason news. Join us for an evening of dance as 8 blossoming choreographers present their new works in Mason Dance Company's Spring New Dances. Start getting your tickets now for the Spring New Dances showcase at Harris Theater at the end of the month. Tickets are $15 full price, $10 for students and staff and seniors, and $7 for groups of 10 or more. Tickets, as always, are available at the Center for the Arts box office, and starting on April 11th, one free student ticket is available with a valid Mason ID. Performances are April 20th to the 22nd at 8 p.m., and I really hope to see you there. Well, Mason, this has been great bringing you some infotainment, my fellow patriots. Once again, this has been Geena Jerome right here with you on the couch. And I really want to know, how do you feel about Tomi Lahren leaving The Blaze? Well, tweet me at Najina_J, and if you feel like it, you can even follow me on Instagram at GeenaJuju. You know, as some of you may know, I am nearing the end of my George Mason career, and I'm leaving on the couch after this year, but don't worry, entertainment will still be brought to you right here on this couch. But in the coming weeks, you might see a new face, but I'll be right here with you. And all I can say right now is see you next week, Mason Nation.
Sodexo Nutrition received an F rating when reviewed by isitbadforyou.com. Sodexo provides food for over 500 school districts and 850 universities in over 80 different countries, as cited by the Charger Bulletin. The review writes, Sodexo is not healthy. They are a mass-produced food service company with great marketing. The food may sound healthy, but it is heavily processed and high in carbohydrates, fats, and chemicals. Sodexo currently operates Mason's dining hall options of Southside, Ike's, and the Globe. There have also been concerns cited by students at Mason, with some finding raw chicken or nails in their food. Sodexo is subcontracted by the universities where the businesses hire them to serve food and give them a budget. What are your thoughts on the current Sodexo?
Ky'Lend?
My thoughts. When I first read this on Facebook, I thought, how credible is this source? Is it bad for you.com? However, I think being a student, you hear multiple people complaining about the food. I think that they have room to improve. Personally, I don't really eat on campus using Sodexo and the dining hall food as much. However, I am a big fan of their scrambled eggs, and I'm usually alone on that. But I like the scrambled eggs with a little bit of syrup. It's excellent. But I just think that they need to improve. What about you, Alexis?
Last year I decided to start eating a mostly plant-based diet, and I have found a lot more trouble in the dining halls because of that. I know that they're trying to expand their allergen-free options, but they still feel pretty limited to me. I feel like I eat pasta like almost every single day.
Well, I'm a commuter to campus, so unfortunately I don't spend much time in the dining halls at Mason, but I can say the few times that I have this semester, I've been really pleased with the options I have. The desserts are my absolute favorite. I've never been disappointed. So I haven't found a problem, so yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in, Patriots. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Mason Cable News, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mason Cable Network to keep up with the latest news on and off campus. I'm Alexis Whitted.
And I'm Ky'Lend Adams.
And I'm Lexi Hodgson. Have a great week.